Alrighty, so this is gonna be a recording on CRO overall fundamentals. I think CRO really boils down to just cancel here. Well, first of all, CRO is conversion rate optimization. It's all about increasing the percentage of users who you want to take a desired action. For our instance, it's always just going to be purchasing or increasing conversion rate, whether that be under like a one-time purchase, a subscribe. Rarely will do like trying to increase add to cart, but all of this we can do without increasing ad spend, right? Because what most Shopify brands do is that to increase their revenue, to increase the amount of purchases they have, they'll focus on testing new creatives or overall testing new audiences, where that ends up as an increase in ad spend. So what conversion rate optimization does is that it just takes your current amount of traffic and it increases the likelihood of them purchasing or giving you more revenue. So a prime example of this would be, you're getting 1,000 visitors and 20 of them buy. That's like a 2% conversion rate. If we optimize the design and layout and now 40 people buy, we've doubled revenue with the same traffic. So you're pretty much adding more revenue without increasing the amount of traffic. So, whenever we look at CRO, it really boils down to something like this, right? This is kind of like a prime example. Here, let me pop on another one. So it'd be the difference between sending someone to a product page versus sending someone to a landing page like this. Something like this versus something like this, right? So now we ask the question of like how designers can impact conversion rates. So really, a lot of people think that designers just try and make things look pretty or make it fit the brand guidelines. But does true, really great design should solve a problem. So that's the difference between like graphic design and fine art, right? Fine art is showcasing your internal problems versus graphic design, which is solving a problem or offering a solution. And in this instance of conversion rate optimization, great design, guides behavior. So every pixel, layout choice, and overall interaction should either move someone closer to conversion or pushes them away. So in this example, whenever you send someone to something like this, right, you have multiple options. You could go to the best sellers, you could go to the homepage, you could do whatever you want, right? But when you're into something like this, every single, if this thing loads, every single action, the only goal is to take you to purchase to the next step, which is to add to cart. So, in a landing page, so this is like adding it to cart. So in a good landing page, it should only give you two options. It should either let you purchase or get out. So a good landing page is pretty binary. So examples: confusing layout, user drop off, poor CTA contrast, missed clicks, cluttered design, analysis paralysis. So like the job as a designer in CRO is to reduce friction and increase overall clarity. Conversion focused design principles, right? So you should always have these four things in mind. So clarity, visual hierarchy, urgency, and trust. And you can even kind of, mix and match these depending on which element you're trying to test, what your goal is, all of that. Here, let me just go back to that. There you go. For clarity, users should instantly understand what the page is about, what they're supposed to do. So I always tell people a good landing page tells you who it's for, what it does, who it's for, what problems it solves, why it's so important, and how much it costs. So who, what, where, when, why, how, right? Above the fold, that should matter the most. So right here, it shows you who it's for women over 50, sonic dermaplaning tool, shows you social proof, it shows you more social proof. So you're supposed to stack that on. So visual hierarchy, urgency, there's a little timer here, trust, more trust factors here. So these three are really going to be fundamental to just keeping that in mind when it comes to, the CRO foundation. So as we, kind of keep going throughout some of these lessons, it's always good to remember what CRO is, the what good graphic design is, or what good design is, and then overall like the design principles that really encompass CRO. So yeah, we'll keep going with these lessons, and I'll see you in the next one.